David is a creation of this scientist whom he killed.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And he was created by a computer and became sentient, I guess.
Became what?
Sentient.
What's that?
That is where he has his own capabilities to think. That is all.
Oh, yes.
You know?
To the nth degree.
Yeah.
He was created on a computer. His mind works like a computer. It is that fast.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that can outthink him. His intelligence is super. It's just, you could take all the science of the world and put their minds together, and David could still outdo him. He has full kinetic abilities, everything. He can sense and know if someone's coming after him, which he has picked up on and stopped, and he has flat told them, stay away. You can't get near me. I will stop you before it gets past the thinking stage. He's gone and destroyed other labs. He has gone and confronted a CIA agent that was given the hit, and confronted him out in his own home out west, and told him to go no further. He's done. So I call him the rogue now. That they have no control over him. He's turned rogue on them.
Now, would you say that there are many others, though, who have gone through the similar process that you've done?
Oh, yes. In fact, the lab I was in where David was created,
right,
there were just lots and lots and lots of these tanks for the incubation period. So, no, I'm not unique. I'm not the only one. They're out here someplace.
So but do you think what happened with David was unique?
Well, that brings in the lab in Maine. He was unique because he was also brought together with 3 others that had abilities like his. And one was an Indian, full-blooded Indian. His nickname was Cowboy. Strangely, why? He liked Cowboy.
Is Cowboy a computer-generated personality as well?
I have no memory of talking with him to the extent of finding out how they was created, or I should say David. I don't know. All I knew was Cowboy reached the ultimate. He perfected becoming totally invisible. And he says, he told the 3 of us, if you ever need us, just call my name and I'll be there. Well, that hasn't happened. I've called his name many a times, and he's never showed up. Well, maybe David has to call it. I don't know. But yeah, I've tried contacting him many times, and he's never shown up.
Okay, you're talking about this Cowboy person, right? Okay, and you're not sure if Cowboy is a computer-generated person or a real person, right?
Right, I don't know.
Okay.
The other 2 either, I don't know how they were created, what the secret government did to them to make them into what they are.
Okay. Well, why don't we today talk about David?
Okay.
And his progression with you from the 60s to present.
Well, once everything was complete, that's when I received orders to go to Vietnam. And that's another reason why Vietnam was started as a training ground for all of us. There was lots of us over there. And I can see the progression now through the war with his abilities. At one point, I can see him sitting at a desk studying, and then I realized what he's learning is Vietnamese. It took him maybe a couple hours to learn it, where he could speak it fluently and know it. And because I also then have scenes of being out in the bush on missions where there's Vietnamese talking, and Sarge keeps looking at me, and I'm the interpreter, even though they don't know I understand Vietnamese fluently.
Okay, let me hold you right there now. Have you kept in touch with anybody that you served with over there in Vietnam?
I can't find anybody.
Nobody?
I've tried. I found one, another airman I was stationed with on the air base, but he would only talk to me shortly, and then he won't talk with me anymore.
Now, your wife, would she confirm that you went to Vietnam?
Oh, yeah.
For how long were you there?
Well, my records show 1 year. I have doubts about that. I think I was sent back over many times.
Okay, but you can't find anyone, even though you've tried. You spent a whole year over there, and you've tried to find someone that you served with over there.
Just the one guy.
And you found one person, and he will not talk with you.
No.
Wow.
He did for 2 or 3 times on the phone, but then that was pretty much it.
Was he scared?
I'm not sure. I think so because of some of the things he said. One point, he really astonished me. He says, "Larry, you were the most strong-willed person we had, and relied on you totally." And it blew me away with just that one statement. That kind of put everything into perspective, and then made a believer out of all these other things that I was starting to remember.
Well, what is your memory of Larry's experience over there in Vietnam?
Just good times. No combat whatsoever.
Kind of like Al Gore's experience, huh?
You mean George Bush?
No, Al Gore went over there, and he basically was just had a good time.
Well, I have no use for Al Gore, so I'm not sure I even want to go there with that.
Well, we won't go there with that one, but it was a similar. So what you recall when, as Larry, you went to Vietnam, you had a good time. However,
had no bad experiences whatsoever.
Right.
In fact, for 20 years almost, everyone I met, I lucked out. I got through my year without a scratch, without any combat, seeing combat, or anything. And then all hell come apart.
When did all hell come apart?
85, when I had the mental breakdown. I call it a mental breakdown. 85 seems to be a horrible year for so many things, for so many people involved in all this. I don't understand that. I don't know what took place in 85 to cause so many of us to crumble. Everyone just like the ones you've talked about mentioned 85, and then Al Bielek mentioned 85, and some others. And something happened in 85 to the entire system. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Well, one of the big dates that I have heard was 1983, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was August the 12th, 1983, and that's when the base was shut down / destroyed at Montauk. There were a number of people there who didn't like what was going on, and they created this monster. And the only way to stop the monster was to destroy the computers, because it was a computer that was holding the form together.
Yeah.
And if you talk to Stu Swirlo, he'll say that at that time he went into a severe depression. It was almost as if when that computer got shut down, he got shut down. I mean, his lifeline was taken away.
I can't really remember what I was like in 83, but I know 85 was a disaster.
And so did these memories then in 1985 start coming to you of what David was doing?
Late 85 and definitely through 86 on is when all the and the first memories that started coming out was of being in combat in Vietnam. Because when I came home from Vietnam in March 1967, I clearly remember exactly how I felt when I arrived home. First of all, I had no memory of ever leaving Vietnam, other than being on the airplane or being at Tan Son Nhut and then getting on the airplane. I can't even recall leaving my air base. But when I got home, my whole body vibrated, hummed. I had a horrible feeling, and I couldn't understand why. Why should I feel this way? Well, that's when many, many, many years down the road, memory come back of what they did to me before I came home at Da Nang Naval Hospital. That's when they trashed my mind, and they took away. I now see why they trashed my mind and took away every bit of combat I was in, because if I would have remembered some of it, it would, of course, been a trigger to remember other things. And as an airman, you're never off the base. You don't ever go anywhere. You definitely don't go out in the bush and fight. You definitely don't go up in the Cambodia, Laos, or anywhere else. which we did.
Mm-hmm.
We went everywhere. So they couldn't. The only thing I can figure out is they decided they could not leave any memory in my mind of being in any kind of combat on base at all.